Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Into My 20's. It's episode 4, I think. Yeah, episode 4. As you can see, I'm in my bed. I'm chilling right now. We're gonna have a little pillow talk session. Yes, another pillow talk session. Where do I even start? I really don't know. Guys. I really don't know. I guess I just told myself if I'm going to be in my bed rotting, procrastinating on every other thing that has to be done today, I might as well make a video. I might as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been feeling this pressure that I've been keeping y'all waiting a little bit too long, you know what I'm saying? And my friend, she was like, girl, when's your next video? Shout out to you, girl. You motivated me to get up here looking a mess. And just post. Okay, so anyways, this pillow talk is going to be about struggles, my social media endeavors, let's just say. Because if you've been keeping up with me for a while and you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I'll come in and I'll come out, I'll post my little content, I'll leave for a little bit, whatever the case may be. And honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little upset that I've been gone for a little while and I literally have nothing to show for it, because honestly, what's been keeping me is, like, I told myself when I come back, I wanted to have like a whole little rebrand and this whole little aesthetic thing and work on my talent and just come back and just be like this, I don't know, amazing, aesthetically pleasing, freaking, I don't know. I actually forgot what I was saying. No. Oh yeah. So I wanted to be like this amazing, like, just like rebrand and just like have all this like amazing editing skills and all this stuff and just, you know, have something to show for when I come back. But I literally have just been living life. Like, I have some great updates, which I will share in another video. But as far as this video goes, I'm just going to spill my heart out to you guys, because that's what people do, right? This is a safe space. This is my safe space. This is my channel. So if you don't like the yapping and the talk and the pillow talk, this video is not for you. I guarantee you, it's just not for you. I'm sorry. Maybe you'll like one of my other vlogs, or like maybe that's more your speed. But this video, not that. So where I'm going to start with that is, guys, like, I'm not going to lie. Learning how to do content has been the biggest obstacle, one of the biggest obstacles for me. Aside from school. School is another topic entirely. I don't even want to talk about school. But I literally was just talking to my friend about this the other day. We was out. Shout out to you, girl. You know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are. But me and my friend was literally out, and I just started venting to her, and I literally got so emotional because I struggle so bad with this idea of like being perceived. It's because I'm not who I want to be just yet. And I feel like in the process of me becoming who I want to be, and that's what comes to my social media, when it comes to like every other thing in my life, but biggest thing we're talking about right now is my social media. Me not being who I want to be, right, or showing up how I want to show up as, it's honestly stopped me from doing what I'm doing. And what I mean by that is, like, even when it comes to my videos, like, there's, like I said, me coming back after the 3 months having nothing to show for it, no great rebrand, no big thing. It's like I feel this pressure to perform because of what I see around me. Like, most people, when I see their content, I'm like, wow, they're so creative. Like, their social media is so good. Like, they know what they're doing. And for me, I just don't feel like I'm there. And I do feel like there's shame around it as well, because it's like, as much as I want to be myself and show up as who I am, I know that I can't just be sloppy. Like, I don't feel like showing up who I am is like just being like this sloppy version, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just don't feel like, I guess I do deal with that comparison and like me trying to build this, I guess you could say, brand on social media, knowing that I am the brand. It does give me that like relief of saying, okay, I don't necessarily have to fit like a blueprint or anything like that. But at the same time, it's like a part of me still wants to go towards that aesthetically pleasing. Like, I want people to see it and be like, oh, this is, you know, I like the way she put this together and put that together. And I've definitely got compliments before on my content. I've had people who in real life have told me like, yeah, like, I see your content, keep going. I actually really like it, you know. And then I've also had people obviously online, you know, compliment me in the comments, say you do good with your editing and stuff like that. And like for me, I just don't feel like it's enough. And it's a problem because I compare myself to other people I see on social media where they'll just like start over, they'll come out of nowhere, and they'll have their editing top tier and all this stuff. They'll put it all together, it'll look all nice, they'll get all these likes and all these comments, and I'm like, dang, you know? And I feel like that's something that I've definitely heard other content creators talk about in a different way when it comes to their endeavors with social media. But I feel like especially for me in my 20s, me trying to figure out like who I am and also doing that in a public space where it's like I'm creating content, it's also very hard because I notice when it comes to like my branding, even though I am my brand, once again, like that does take a lot of pressure off of me. But at the same time, me being my brand, like it doesn't make it easier because at the same time, it's like, okay, well, what I show up as is what people are going to want. And as much as I want to be authentically myself, I don't want to be sloppy. Like I said before, like I don't want to just show up and be like how I am right now. I'm just chill, right? But I feel like it's kind of sloppy too, because I feel like if I'm going to come on social media, especially a place like YouTube, I feel like YouTube is one of those places where it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I need to watch more content creators. If you guys, honestly, in the comments, if you guys have content creators who are, you know what I'm saying, kind of like more, not as aesthetically pleasing, they kind of just make videos and just talk and they just do whatever. Like, if you guys know more content creators like that, I think I need to start consuming more content like that. And that would really probably help me to come out of my shell, because I feel like, honestly, I've been feeling this push in my spirit to just do it. Just post a video, just do this, just do that. And it's like, I've been holding myself back because I guess I am afraid of being perceived trying. Like, I don't like people seeing me in the early stages unless I'm ready for it to be seen. Like, there's things I've shown on my YouTube, even when it comes to a point in time where I was homeless and I was living with a friend, right? Now that I'm far from that, it's easier for me to share that. But when I was in the middle of it, you couldn't pay, well, you probably could have paid me to share it. Probably $1 billion, yeah. But point being, it was a lot harder for me to share it in that point in time because I was going through that currently. So I was obviously a little embarrassed, a little ashamed about it. Like, there were things about it that I have shared, but in that capacity, no, right? And I feel like for me too, I feel like I say this a lot, and I tell people this, like, a lot of my direction that I'm going in now came from when I was earlier in my walk with God. So earlier in my walk with God, I started, he told me to start this YouTube, right? And there was another thing that he had put me on when I was starting with him. It was, I'll probably get back to that because I can't remember right now. But he was the reason why I started my YouTube when I started it. Had it not been for me walking with God in that capacity, okay, I remember. Not me interrupting my own thoughts, but quite literally, y'all, he had me move. He was the reason why I moved and I'm where I am today. Because had I not moved when I did, I'm not gonna say when I did, but I do think timing is a really big part of it. And like I said, when I started my walk with God, I really heard from him clearly. And he was the reason why I had a sense of direction as early on as I did. Now, I can give myself a little credit and to say that I definitely had these things already in me. But obviously, by the grace of God, that's why it was the way it was, if that makes sense. Like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, I'm sorry. But so because of that, like I said, he's the one that led me to move. And because I moved, now I'm where I am today. You know what I'm saying? Living on my own. I've been thriving since. Like, of course, I've had my struggles, but I'm where I am today. So in terms of social media, I think that's another thing as well. He's the reason why I started my YouTube page. I started my YouTube channel, again, early in my walk with God. He was the one who prompted me to post, to start that YouTube, to get started, right? And I feel like since then, me not sticking to that, I've been disobedient. Like, I've been on other social medias, like I'm pretty active on my TikTok, and I feel like TikTok has definitely gotten in the way more than it's helped, because me being so active on there has really been taking time away from what he's called me to do, what he's prompted me to do, and that's my YouTube. And so just like I was saying, I had talked to a friend, and when we were talking about it, and I was telling her, like, I do understand that delayed obedience is still disobedience. Like, if you're not being obedient when God is telling you to do something, if you're not doing it in that moment, and you're saying, well, I got to do this, and I got to do this first, and I got to get this, and da, 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 Because that was me, and that still is me, and I'm struggling so bad, y'all. Like, when I tell you I'm struggling so bad. And then also, it's not just the idea of me not doing it. It's also because he's working on me with some other things, and I think that's really just me prioritizing and learning how to prioritize my time well. I feel like anyone that does content creation they understand that having a schedule, having discipline and timing and how you do things is very important, because if not, you'll struggle. And that's really where I am. I'm struggling because I'm not a set schedule kind of person. I'll set schedules and I will not stick to them. I struggle so bad with that. And so, like, when it comes to, like, my social media page, it's like I just go to whatever's easy. Whatever's easy for me is TikTok. I feel like on TikTok it's a lot more easier to be authentic, because you can literally just set up the camera, hold it, and just yap. Just yap, post a video, get a couple likes, right? Whereas for YouTube, I feel like I have to show up a little bit more correct, right? I'm a little uncomfortable being in my bonnet and my pajama shirt, my dingy white pajama shirt. But again, I've been feeling this pressure, this push to just do, right? And I'm honestly tired of holding myself back, because I'm afraid of, I don't know, people seeing me a certain way, or like, just like, I guess maybe self-image is probably what it is. Self-image and ego, like, is definitely something I'm realizing I'm struggling with. And I feel like this new depth, this new place that God is trying to take me to, especially when it comes to the life that I want for myself, for my future, the life that I envision, the vision that he's given me for myself. When it comes to that, it's like there's a new level of humility. I saw a video talking about this. It was like, the new level you're reaching, the new breakthrough, there's a new level of humility that God wants you to reach. And I feel like me being able to just show up however, whenever, and just be obedient. That's the biggest thing, is to just be obedient. Stop trying to get to this place where I'm like, I have to have this amount of talent first, and I have to be able to edit my videos like this, and I have to have this certain kind of aesthetic, and to show up like that, and like all these things. Like, when it comes to that, like, my whole idea with that is realizing that it's causing more delay, and it's causing me to be disobedient. So, like, in my social media endeavors, like, I find myself in this really hard, rocky place. Like, even in my relationship with God, I admit, like, I've been doing things that I'm not very proud of. And I feel like my relationship with God has definitely taken a hit in that way. And because of that, it's affected all the other areas of my life. And especially, again, my YouTube, which is one of the things he's led me to get started on. And so I say all that to say, like, you guys are seeing the beginning stages. And it's really messy. It's really unaesthetic. It's really, in my opinion, ugly, right? Of course, you guys don't see the behind the scenes, because you don't see what I don't record, right? But it's like, when I am talking about it, and you guys can see the aftermath of it when it shows up online, right? It's not pretty. It's not aesthetically pleasing. And I kind of want to give this forewarning to anyone who's watching this video, who's interested in seeing what I have to offer. Just want to say, hey, my content is not gonna look, at this point, I'm trying to strip myself of that expectation to show up a certain way, especially in the biggest aspect of aesthetic. Like, I keep saying that because for me, it's the biggest thing that's really holding me back. It's like, I see all these other videos, I see all these other creatives, and I get discouraged because I just don't feel like I have the talent. Like, I don't feel like I have that capacity to show up in that way. And so for me, it's very clean cut. It's just post a video, just make the video, snip this, snip that, post it, right? Boom. And I might have a little cute little, cover photo, but all in all, that's really what it is. And I think I struggle because people have told me this, like, I need to practice self-compassion and seeing my own potential. I see potential in others so deeply, but when it comes to myself, I really do struggle with that. So maybe I don't see myself in the way that other people see me. Like, I have a hard time perceiving myself and wanting to be perceived. Like, it's so deep, you guys, but I feel like in this process that God is really he's really working on me with that. And I feel like too, my biggest thing is, I know as much as I say that I can't, like, I do have a hard time seeing my potential. Again, two things can be true at once. I do have a hard time seeing my potential in a lot of ways, but I also understand that I am deeply gifted. All his children are gifted. Let's make that very clear. But when it comes to me just putting myself in that category, when I really hone in and look at myself, I'm like, okay, I understand I have gifts, and I understand that God has instilled so much in me. And it's like, if I'm not using those to my greatest ability, if I'm not even trying, right? Even if it doesn't like work out in the way that I intend, right? If I'm not even trying, I do understand that I will have to take account for that. Like, I do understand that. Like, and that much is not something that I want to be held accountable for. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't want the things that God has put in me to go to waste. And I feel like that's also that part of me that's motivated to still try, even when I do lack that motivation to actually do something. There's that inner pulling to like, okay, girl, you still have to push through, even if it's gonna take you a year from now. You can't fully abandon it, like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really just my struggle to stay connected to what it is that God is calling me to stay connected to do what it is that God is calling me to do, and to just overall have a ambition towards something, a vision and a goal. Like, I have to keep moving. Like, I have to. So I don't know. I just wanted this to be like one of those pillow talk episodes where I'm yapping, and I feel like there's people that's watching this video that can relate, and I feel like I'm talking to someone. And I feel like that's another thing too. Like, my videos are not just for me. Understanding that, and this applies to everyone. Essentially, like, this applies to everyone, right? But just understanding that, like, the gifts and the talents and the things that God has in you that he wants you to say, that he wants you to speak, like, is not just for you. So I know that if someone ever comes across this video, whether it's now, 10 years ago, 10 years later, whatever, right? They see this video and they're like, man, like, I totally relate to what she's saying. Like, I get it. I feel it, right? I hope this is like an encouraging motivator for you to, like, I don't know, just get in front of a camera, record, do something. I don't know, make that art piece, right? Sing that song, post that video of you dancing, whatever, right? And it's like, for me, I struggle so much too in that creative aspect, because it's like, believe it or not, as much as I say I want to be free and authentically me, I just struggle so much with having a standard for what I want to put out. And honestly speaking, guys, deep down inside, I do feel like it's a rejection thing. I do feel like I'm afraid to not be liked. As much as I would say, oh, I don't care what anyone says, I don't care what anyone thinks, but it's like, if I'm struggling so hard to truly be myself without any restrictions, then that truly does mean that I am afraid. Because it's like, if I am myself without any restrictions, and people tend to not like that, that's a hit on me. It's really an ego thing. Like, it's really an ego thing. Like, I really am realizing that I do have a lot of pride within myself. But all in all, this video is just really just into my 20s. This episode is really just honing in on the fact that, like, I'm trying, and with my social media, it's me as is proving as, like, not just a creative outlet that I'm hoping to, like, be more creative in, but it's also that outlet of, like, possibly being something more for the future and the vision and the life that I have for myself. And just, I think someone, again, can relate to that idea. Yeah, I think someone can really relate to this, and hopefully this isn't just me yapping meaninglessly. Hopefully. But if so, then at least I can say I made a video. I gave you guys something to watch, right? I think so. Okay. Awkward. But yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what to say, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys have any thoughts, comments, whatever, like, feel free. I want to hear what you have to say, honestly. Any interaction is great. So yeah, feel free to comment, like, subscribe even if you haven't already. But I plan to definitely just, I don't know, just a disclaimer. I feel like my future content is not going to be, if the quality of the content has decreased in any way, just be aware that I'm working on things. Just be aware that I'm working on things. Again, you guys are seeing the beginning stages. So yeah. Yeah, just know that. Anyways, I love you guys. See you in the next video. Hopefully that will be soon. Hopefully it will be soon. Bye.